Yeah. It's your boy Champ, and tonight we're going to be talking about power. So let's get into it.
The champ is here! The champ is here!
Yeah. It's your boy Champ, and this is the Champ is Here show.
What's up, guys? This is Six.
And it's your boy, Mr. Long Champ here, co-hosting.
Co-hosted. So, guys,
Quick shout out to the audience. Appreciate you guys.
Shout out to the audience. Quick shout out. What's going on, audience? So, I got a question for you guys because this has been since the beginning of time. I believe people have been asking this question: is knowledge power or potential power? Go.
Go.
Pow.
Knowledge power or potential power?
And why? Please.
I get it. That's a good question.
I feel like knowledge, you're learning. So I feel like cumulatively it will become power. I don't feel like you have to put the pieces together. It's probably not power just to know, because you have to know a lot about one subject to become, a pro at that subject. So I would say it's potential power, because you also have to know how to use it, how you're going to use that knowledge.
Okay.
So I would say, it's both, but because are you going to say that, like, for example, I'm going to compare it to, going to the gym and lifting weights. As you do certain strength workouts, you do increase your power. Does that mean that you lose your power or you don't have the power when you're not lifting?
No, you don't. Not that you don't have the power, but it takes lots of reps and compound movements to obtain a certain amount of power. So you get stronger, I would say. So if you learn little by little, you'll get stronger mentally in that subject or that area that you're obtaining knowledge in.
Okay. So the answer is, and a lot of people, the answer is knowledge is potential power. And the reason why knowledge is potential power, because the power is in the application. It's like Zig Ziglar said, if you read, if the person who does not read is just as good as the person who cannot read, or is it the other way around? The person who cannot read is just as bad as the person who can read and does not read. You see, what happens is, Gabe, to answer your question, the potential, we all have the potential, but everyone is strong, everyone has strength, but the application is when you go into the gym. Yes, the power, the application now gives you a physique. A boat, yes, I get it. I have a boat. But if the boat is on dry land, am I really using the boat to its potential? No, not really. You're not. It's just sitting on land, just gaining rust. You know what I mean? This discussion came about. I was in the barber shop, and my old barber was like, "Hey, knowledge is power, because if you know martial arts, even though I'm not using it, I still know martial arts. But you got to use martial arts. If we're in a time of peace, then what good is it?"
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just believe that when you have a wealth mindset, an abundant mindset, knowledge is potential power. But everyone at the bottom who's poor will always say knowledge is power, because they just believe that, hey, if I know it, or if I know how to do it, knowledge is power. Just like reading. Yeah, I know how to read, but if you're not reading every day, strengthening your mind, it starts to atrophy. So knowledge is potential.
Okay, I was gonna, because like you're saying, if you're talking in relation to like using the martial arts, So if you don't necessarily have to use the martial arts, but you practice it on a regular basis, even though you're not actually fighting, but you're just practicing your movements, staying ready so you don't got to get ready. Wouldn't you say that that is still having, the power?
Yes, because you're applying it. You see, Tai Chi, you're either using it to fight or you're in the park moving. It's still, you're applying it, reading it. You're not reading in front of, millions of people in front of the class. If you're at home reading to yourself, you're still applying it. You're still benefiting from it.
Right.
But if you're not, pardon?
You're practicing, basically.
Yeah, you're practicing. And imagine if you're practicing, and then you just bump into somebody in the street and says, "Hey, listen, for $100,000, can you read this paragraph?" And it's like big words, and you're just reading it flawlessly, and you're like, "Wow, oh, he's lucky." Well, luck is just being prepared for an opportunity.
Yeah.
So if you're just doing it over and over and over again, and you're prepared, you're not really caught off guard.
So what I will say, to kind of rebut that is because there is multiple definitions of power. Like the same way if you brought up the boat, cars have power, and they are you can measure a car's horsepower. For example, a car doesn't lose power when it's not driving.
Well, look at that. Look, Chris said he had the car in front of the house for a very long time without starting it. What happened to the car when he didn't?
The battery died.
The battery dies. You see, when you're not moving forward,
you have to use it. Like the mechanic said you have to drive it at least around the block every so often so that the battery doesn't, even if it's a brand new battery, it's like if you don't use it, the battery will die, which will lead to other problems down the road.
You see, this is why the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. If you're not using it, you're losing it.
No, that's true.
It's just like in the gym. If you're not working out, your muscles atrophy. Well, no, I know how to work out. Well, work out if you know how to work out.
I know how to work out. Like I used to be in tip-top shape before I had my 4-year-old now. And I'm talking about like I was good. And then I got back in the gym and I was not good. Okay. I was weak. I'm still struggling with a lot of different areas, especially when it comes to nutrition, but it's like an ongoing thing. It's just not giving up. You keep practicing. I'm going to continue at this until I beat it again.
Right. If you're not doing something all the time, you're going to get rusty. Oh, yeah. Yes, you knew how to do it. You were proficient at it, but it came to a point where you weren't practicing. Now you're back at zero now.
Yeah.
You have to catch up now.
Yep.
So just because you know it doesn't mean you can use it if you're not applying it.
The good thing about it is, the memory, the muscle memory, and I'm sure it's the same when it comes to like reading. If you've been an avid reader and you stop for a little while, once you pick it back up, it's just going to become a more natural habit than versus you starting from the beginning. So, if you're out there, if you've been reading in the past, if you've been doing something that's been, building to your knowledge, you should definitely not give up, pick up where you left off or pick up wherever you can, and you'll catch up to where you were and get way better down the road.
Right. Listen, guys, real quick, 90-day challenge. I'm on day 21. And because I've been doing everything consistently, again, my reading time is cut down by 10 minutes, and I'm getting to the gym. It's taking me 18 minutes to jog. Now I'm getting there in 11 minutes in 1.25 miles.
Wow.
Just by doing it every day.
Yeah.
So my run time.
Go ahead. No, finish. I'll let you finish.
What you was gonna say?
No. What I was gonna say is, okay, now looking at one of the definitions of power makes sense as to the reason why you can say knowledge is power,
What's that?
because potential. So power, another synonym for power is potential.
Another.
Mm.
So you don't need to say power. You don't need to say potential. You don't need to say potential power, because then you're just being redundant. Power itself is being something that has the ability to be transferred into something. So it's like basically you have the like, knowledge gives you the potential to do whatever it is that you want.
Well, it's a synonym, but not a direct definition. It's kind of like compounding the words, I would feel, because you could use potential on its own, and you can use power on its own, and I guess to further clarify, you can use potential power.
Right. No. I'm just saying that when people say, because he was saying that, when they say knowledge is power, that's not true. You can say knowledge is power because it's basically the same thing. You're just compounding it basically by adding the potential.
And that's one of the issues when it comes to the English language too. I'm not gonna let's be serious right now. A lot of the times something is said and it's not clear, so people can have their own interpretation as to what exactly it means. And you have to look into these words. You have to read between the lines. It's like an infomercial. Like, what are they really asking you? What are they really saying? So for someone to be like knowledge is power, they would have to go ahead and, well, what is power? Do they have the capability of even looking for the definition and what it actually means? Not exactly.
Yeah, so actually the definition is the first definition is the ability to do something or act in a particular way. And the synonyms are ability, capacity, capability, potentiality, faculty, competence.
Yeah.
So, yeah, knowledge is power.
That's some good clarification. No, that's great clarification. Because that way, I'm pretty sure a lot of people have not Googled the word power or looked into what the word power means. You just know what that power is. Power is strength. Power is strong.
Or that it's a show with Ghost and Tariq and
or that one. Yeah, exactly.
Because that was actually the first. It was crazy when you Google it. That is the first thing that comes up.
Are you serious? Wow. Wow. They messed us up with this pop culture. They messed us up.
Fact.
Okay, so I have a few definitions of power. Okay, so it says power is the rate with respect to time at which work is done. It is the time derivative of work.
Yeah, so I think it's definitely more related to physics, but that's related to everything pretty much in life too.
Right. If a constant force is applied throughout distance, the work done is defined as, okay, that goes into more physics and stuff like that. If the force variable over a three-dimensional curve. So basically power.
I didn't want to dive that
deep. I'm just reading the first. This is okay. The output of power.
No physicists here, right? Anybody a physicist? Just checking.
No, I'm super into physics. I took physics in high school. Okay, in physics, power is the amount of energy transferred or converted per unit time. So it's a conversion, right? So power. So I believe that, yes, and like you said, 6, for you to really understand what knowledge is, you have to put the potentiality into the adage, because people think it's power. What you believe power is something that is gained, but it's letting you know that it's something that needs to be transferred.
Yep, agreed.
Right. So I get it, but I think we as human beings, we need to be spoon-fed, explanated, because not everyone is gonna get it. So
yeah. And like I was saying earlier, in the English language, we take for granted. I mean, I speak Spanish. I feel like in my country, when someone tells you something, they tell you it's very clear. In English, the words can mean so many different things. So we really have to like look into what actually these words mean. So
Yeah, because you have homophones, homographs, you got metaphors and similes. You have, that's what's called language arts. It's an art.
mhm,
And how you command the English language is by reading. So if you want to
right.
have more command of it, you just got to read. So we're wrapping things up real
Yeah.
quick, guys. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah.
The egg.
Gabe,
I know the chicken.
which one? You sticking with the chicken or you sticking with the egg?
I'm gonna stick with the chicken.
Okay. What about
Yeah,
you, Gabe?
I'm gonna say the egg. I'm gonna say the egg.
All right. It's the egg.
All right.
It's the egg. Where did the chicken come from? The egg could have came and morphed into from something else, or some type of mutation could have happened. But it's the egg, and the egg is the symbol, is the zero, meaning the feminine, the thought. So then the egg chicken coming out is transferred into the action, which is the male. So
Boom.
Yeah, I knew that one already, so I kind of cheated.
That's good.
So that's it. I thought I'd throw a little joke in there, a little.
Ha ha ha. A little ha ha ha.
So guys, any shout outs?
Yeah. Shout out to Home by Six. Shout out to Max Sky Trucking. Shout out to Lee Bulldogs. And shout out to myself. 6 Series. Go check me out. Gabe.
Quick shout outs again to the audience, to all our Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube viewers. Appreciate you guys for checking in every week. Shout outs to Longchamp Training, excuse me. Shout out to BT Group. Shout out to my guy DJ Tunes. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Yes, so yeah, big shout out to Moving Keys. Big shout out to Moving Keys. Big shout out to Brooklyn Cove. Big Bo's Poppin'. Big shout out to Longchamp Success. Not to mention, yeah, big shout out to Tunes, even though he doesn't pick up my phone calls when I call.
He picks up all my phone. He picks up my phone calls.
I know he does me dirty all the time, bro. All the time. All the time. And it's like we could be right next to each other. I can call him and then you call him. He's like, hey, yo, Gabe. I'm like, wow.
It's because you're the big brother, You're the big brother on the block. You always got to make sure he's on point before he answers.
That's wild. That's wild.
Still has that the little brother mentality from the block. You know what I mean?
Anyway, appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
One more shout out. Because like I said, we're gonna be on Patreon. So shout out to the patrons who, our new patrons. Yeah.
Big shout outs to the Patreons, but thumbs downs to the Patriots. I'm a New York Giant fan. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah. Now when I hear Patreon, I think of the Patriots. I was a Tom Brady fan, but I'm gonna just
think of patrons. Think of patrons.
Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys.
All right.
And don't forget to hit that like or subscribe button. Yeah.